the ones that they don't know me, my name is Mustafa Saleh. I have just finished my master's in hydroinformatics last April. Um, this presentation was also presented last year by Ahmed Al-Ghandour. He prepared all the slides, so thanks to him I have this prepared, and I just added some hints from my own experience. And this is organized by the Muslim Student Association at IHE Delft. The content I already shared with you, so I will save your time. First, I will begin with how to improve your academic writing. There are a lot of ways. A lot of ways takes a lot of time, so I will just give some hints. Maybe in the beginning, or if you already started your writing your proposal, you will find out that my writing is very bad. Maybe some also, yeah, bad or offensive comments from your mentors or supervisor you will get. I already experienced something like this, so it's okay, because your experience is way below theirs, so that's totally fine. Don't panic, just practice. And here's some things that may help you, that my advice, and also from Ghandour's experience, who is a PhD student at IHE now. He says that start your day by reviewing the latest product that you have, and this really makes difference. So if you wrote anything, just start by revising that, and then take 30 minutes to write again, to edit and add more. This is like a technique named publish and flourish. This a name of a book. So if you need to know more about it, you can just Google that. Another thing is, just keep this is maybe during the proposal, and most importantly after that, during your thesis period. Just keep the weekly meetings and feedback from supervisors and reviewers. This is very important. Don't just miss any of them, and if you find out that your supervisor or mentor doesn't have much time for you, you need to complain and start talking with them about it. There are some writing tools that some of you know it and some don't, so I just thought that it's good to mention. First, this thesaurus.com. You can just use it to get different words and use it during your writing, like this. An easy way also to use it by using Shift and F7. So if you write a word, you just select it and Shift F7, and you will find out these options for you. Some of there are more options in the website, that's why I mentioned. So if you didn't find what you want through the word, you just go and check also the website. I don't know if you saw the what I have done, right? Just to make sure that you saw the word and the website, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. There is also a phrase bank here. Actually, I attended the academic writing course at IHE, so this is one of the things that they told us about, and also they told us about this thesaurus tool. So for example, here this is a bank of that many of the researchers used in the past, and this doesn't mean to be plagiarism, so you can use it without being afraid of being caught of plagiarism or whatever. So for example, if you are referring to something and you are being cautious while writing, so you have these options to choose from. It is thought that, it's believed that, it has been reported according to Smith 2008, whatever. And what I really liked is describing trends. For example, when you write your results and discussion, there's you will find out this um, words that will be very much of help. The graph showed that slightly fall or rise or drop or whatever. So I think it's a good idea to just take a look at that. There is also a tool I didn't use personally, but many other recommends. So this one is might help you in paraphrasing what you get through the literature review and the discussion. So here, for example, this one, you just write here in that side and paraphrase, and then you get this option, and I think you can change it. As I told you, I didn't try it by myself, but I know a lot who do. There is also Grammarly, which I recommend very much. There is a free option to have Grammarly and to add into your Microsoft Word. My advice is to buy the Pro subscription. Ahmed Al-Ghandour sent an email to them that he said that I'm a student and in scholarship or whatever, and they made an extra discount for him. So also maybe a group of you can just send them an email together and say, hey, we want to get the Pro or the premium version of Grammarly, and we want a discount. We are in scholarship or whatever. But I really recommend it. It will very much help you during your thesis. And also, the more you read, the better you will write. But not just glancing or reading quickly, but you need a critical reading to see how the author already wrote this paragraph, the first sentence, the introductory sentence in the paragraph, the final sentence is the conclusion sentence, and check how he used maybe some words, new words that you already can check and use it in your thesis. This is very much important. You need to read a lot, not only for the literature review, but also you will need that in your results and discussion part and conclusion. There is also an academic writing book, and you will find it in in the IHE library. I will share with you all these links at the end of the session. This might be useful if you want to go deep into that. And another thing is you can get a writing group with your colleagues, or some groups already on Discord, I think, and you can join them online. So just a note. And I will talk also about some tips in the Microsoft Word that you need to work smart from the beginning. Don't we'll get to that later. I will not then the writing process, if you just Google it, you will find, for example, you need to pre-write, plan, write first draft and redraft, and then edit. But from our experience, we find out that you need to write a draft, yes, but then check it with the software. You can check it with Grammarly or the other software or tools available, and then revise and proofread. And that must be later. Don't do it after finishing your writing of this paragraph or this page or whatever. No, you need to just do other thing, whatever, or revise later in the morning, but don't revise at the same time. This is my advice. You will just see that you write a perfect paragraph and nothing need to be adjusted, but then later you will find out what is that this is rubbish, and you will just edit a lot. So this is a note. And also, after that, after revising, proofreading, send to the supervisor, not before, because as I told you, you might get, yeah, not good comments. And then after that they will give you some comments you need to edit and improve accordingly. And then sometimes you will have just mind block, you don't know what to write. Our advice is to present. Just get a friend or a family member or whatever, just put on the laptop and present to them, and then I'm sure you will find many thoughts while just presenting. For me, I didn't just use this during my writing, but even through the modeling part. I was talking a lot with friends and advisors and even outside IHE, just to present them what I'm doing, and then I myself get the solution while presenting. So maybe give it a try. Then a very important thing is to document and take notes and recordings, and I'm sure you went through that through the online learning, but maybe some hints will be of help. During your meeting with supervisor and mentors, note down literally everything. That's my advice. And also you need to take notes. Some tools could be of help, like the OneNote app. This is a PC app and also a mobile app. I think I have it here. This is like you're just documenting everything you have in your life if you want. It's not only for your thesis, but you can just make a notebook here. For example, just name it thesis research, and you can get your notes, recordings, drawings, even whatever you can do, whatever you want in that portal, and it will be saved for after 10 years. You will just get it again. So if you document everything with your supervisor, you also can use it to record through the mobile app of the OneNote. So from our experience, it's very useful. And also when I experienced that after my research, I found out that most of the people use it even in the professional sector. And as I told you need to record everything, your meetings. If it's online, you can record it and it will be perfect, because you will just find everything, even the presented to you. But you need to get permission, and this is advice, because some of the people got into troubles because of that. So just ask your supervisor, and I don't think any one of them will have a problem with it. But also don't rely only on that. Take notes, because maybe you will just after the meeting you found out that the recording wasn't working, or the mobile just turned off, or whatever. So this is important. The files in the folder of your thesis, you need to organize it from day one, because you will find out at the end that you wrote some part in the proposal and you need to return to it. You will not find, for example, the literature reference that you refer to, or you have a figure and you just don't find where the model that you used, or the version that you used of the model to do that figure, and you will be in trouble. Next is the reference and files management, and this is related to the last part I talked about. There is PDF and folders, and there is reference managers. So you must arrange your folders based on the topic and author. This is, for example, for the reference part. You will just here, for example, if you go to that paper and you want to download it, let's try other one. So this one, want to download this one, download PDF. So here you see that name here is fmars070 whatever, and then you are just stressed, then you will download it, and then you go, for example, using EndNote or whatever, and then after a while you will start searching for that, and you will be in that trouble again. So while saving that, just make sure that you name the files with the author, date, and title. Then you will easily find out other after that at the end. There is also a tool named Everything. You can download it from that link, and this is a very quick search tool that will definitely save your time. I don't have it on that laptop, but it's very useful. This is an important part as well, because some of the students that I personally know in my batch, or even before that, lose a lot of, maybe all their thesis part before 1 month or 2 months of the discussion. So this is really important. You need there is a lot of tools that will just make you avoid such experience. For example, the Google Drive and the OneDrive, you just have, I think, €2 per month, and it's really worth it. You can just subscribe and upload, and this will be upload automatically, the folder of your thesis. For example, you will just choose it, and everything will be updated automatically. Also, if you don't want, at least just don't delete old versions. As I told you, you will need it at the end for changing whatever you have in your thesis for figures or whatever. But also have a hard drive to back up everything on a weekly basis. Make a reminder, and this is important. Just imagine the bad side of that, and just make it. There is also for the people who will be working on modeling or programming, some of them will need extra computational resource. You can just ask the IT, for example, for extra RAM for your laptop, and also you are familiar with the virtual machines, C-Labs. This is good also for parallel modeling, or running of different versions of your model. And also there is a Surf-Sara. This is maybe most probably for the hydroinformatics students. However, you can also ask, I think, also the hydroinformatics stuff to or your supervisor and mentor, and then you can get access to the Surf-Sara, which is highly computational resource related to the European Union. And most probably the people will work, for example, with Delft 3D and Delft 3D FM. They will need that. It will save a lot of time. There are also some recommended additional tools. The Total Commander. This is for me was very new. I knew it after my thesis, but I found out that everybody uses it, so I just wanted to have this note. The people who doesn't want to use the mouse a lot, just can have this tool. You already have these two windows. There are a lot of shortcuts can be used for copying and opening files or whatever. You can use, for example, here F4 to open some files. Here so here, for example, this is a Python file, but I need to glance very quickly what's happening there, or what I wrote, or whatever, and you just get it quickly. But also an important thing is, if you want to compare between two files, So you can just use here compare by content, and you will just clearly tell you that on the lines from 37 to 39 there is this change. Here is standard name, here is standard date. So I think it saves a lot of time. There are a lot of other options, but I'm new to it and I'm starting to learn it. Maybe if someone is interested, I can share with you some documentations that I already have. Also, get familiar. This is for the people who will do programming. Get familiar with GitLab and GitHub. I will not talk a lot about it. Just Google them, and there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube. There's also this tool that I was just using, the Notepad++. This is much better than the regular Notepad, and the people from hydroinformatics know that well. And also a free software to record, which I'm using now to record this session, is OBS Studio. My experience with it through my thesis was great. I didn't have any problem with it. Then we talk about the Microsoft Word. I'm not sure if all the departments have that, but more for the water science section or department, they have already provided the master template, which I have it here. So this is very useful because they already made all the styles available for you. They already had the headings format adjusted for you with what they want, Arial 16 and the colors and everything. And this is most probably the body here. This is the list of paragraphs, so if you will have any list, you'll use this style while writing it. If you have this body, you use the normal one with this times New Roman 12. They already did that for you, which is very helpful. So please, what I'm asking is just stick to that, don't change it, because it's important. And if you change it, you will have this in your comments, or maybe you will not have, and you just have it in your thesis at the end with a very bad looking of your PDF file. If you want to adjust something, I just want to mention this very quickly, that this button, you just click it and you'll have these styles. You can right click here, modify, and then for example I want to use 11, and then OK, and this will be adjusted for all the normal or the body in all the document, and that would make you also stick to one style in all, and there will be a consistency in your document. I know some people know that, but I just want to mention to whoever doesn't know. An important thing is to know how to make sections and page breaks. Here they already did that, but you will definitely need to do that in the future. For example, they have here the list of figures, list of symbols and whatever, and then they make a section break. This is totally different section than the above one. You can just here right click and turn on the section, and then you will know from this one that you are in section 4. This section 4 has its own formatting, its own page number style, its own size of the page. So let's say that you want to have here, you want to make a new section. Okay, so this one, where breaks, layout breaks, and then you make section break, next page. Then this will be section 4, this will be section 5. But let's say that you want to have also different section here, and then you want this page to be landscape. You have a figure or something, so this will be splitted away of the above and below section, and you can have your figure here or your map or whatever. You can also change it to A3, not A4. Then you can have a clear document for the one who will print it at the end. A smart thing is to also, while working, you have this new figure you will just add it, and most probably you have a lot of things to do, so just write here figure 2 and blah blah blah, and if you are really good you will just highlight it to remind you to adjust it at the end. But my advice is to don't do that. You can just quickly learn this Alt and then S, and then this goes here to references, and you want to insert citation, you want to insert caption, so P, insert caption, and then you here write blah blah blah, and then it's done. If you just practice on it, you will find it very easy. Alt SP, and then if you want to refer it to it, so also Alt S RF, and then this will bring you to these whole options you have. You have equation or figure or whatever you want to cross-reference to. So I want to refer to this figure. Do you want to refer to entire caption? No, only the label and number. Which figure? So choose figure 2, insert. Then you have this, so figure 2 shows blah 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 blah. Then you are done with it. You don't need to revisit this anymore at the end. This is also the same for the tables and more. I just want to give it this hint very quickly. Maybe this is not very important, but just if you have a very long table, you can just repeat the table headlines. So here, and this is the headline A, B, C. You'll just right click here, table properties, row, and then repeat. So if this will be the headers, it will be repeated also on the next page. Just a quick hint. I don't know also if you know that, but some people don't know, are already asked in your batch, so I wanted to if you have this and you want to have this sentence with the same format of this, you just go to the format painter here and then use that one. You can if you want to copy, Control C, but you also can right click and special. You want to paste it with the same formatting or only the text. This is useful. And paragraph spacing, an important thing, sorry to mention, is home. This, like I can say that this is the magic button in the MS Word. The show hide. This is showing you everything in your document. So something like this is not recommended at all. You don't have any spacing between your paragraphs. This is not also good to have spacing below text and above the table. So remove any spacing, but if you want to add spacing, you can add it like it's added here. So most of the people just write the heading and then enter and then enter, and then they start writing to have this space. But you can just select your heading, and from these styles that I told you about, modify, and this format here you have the paragraph, tabs, border, language, numbering, everything. So for example here for the paragraph you have the spacing. So here the IHE already put on the template that in heading 2 you will have spacing after 12.5. So don't increase that by adding an enter and space from your own just mind. So this is a hint. If you don't like this, you can increase it or decrease it, whatever, but use that spacing and only that spacing. The list of references, I don't have the EndNote in that laptop as well, but if you have it, most of the work will be on a tab here named EndNote. But I will refer you to the video of the library. I already have the link to it, and this is very important. Whoever didn't attend the webinar from the library is missing a lot, and you will face a problem for a plagiarism at the end if you didn't follow their instructions. So whatever you did and how brilliant you did in your thesis, but for example you just have plagiarism or whatever comments from their side, and then you will fail. So let's say that just a hint, if you want to add the list of references, you have this bibliography and this the reference list, and do that below the reference at the end. What else? I may quickly refer to the recording. I have the recording here, and they are very helpful at the library. And myself, I went there.
Have to do that. Create a
Went there several times, and they just sit beside you on the laptop and they adjust for you and say this is right, this is wrong. They are very helpful people, so use that. If you are using the figures or referring to a figure in while just during your body of a paragraph, and you just want to refer in brackets, you just refer like this. But if you are saying, as I just wrote minutes ago, you can say shown in figure 5, and I showed you how to do that. Or you start with figure 5 presents blah blah blah. The same for the table and the same for section. And this is, I think it's very useful because most of the people don't use it. If you want to refer any section in your document, just refer it by that. The same here. You want to refer here, check section 5, but you will find out at the end that this section 5 that you referred at that point of your thesis would be like now is section 6 or section 7. So it's good to refer to it automatically by Alt SRF, and you are not referring to a figure or equation, but you want to refer to a heading, for example. So you want to refer the page number of the heading, or what? No, I want to refer to the heading text. Which one? I want to refer to this one, for example. Then it will be here. And then whoever is reading your file, he will just use control and go to that section directly. Maybe this is not very important because it's being automatically done. Okay, while using figures during your thesis, you will have to make sure that you are using the best resolution. However, the best resolution is not the highest one. From our experience, that when you use this 600, for example, you're using MATLAB or PowerPoint or whatever the tool that you are conducting the figures by, it makes your document size very high, and sometimes it crashes, sometimes it makes problem while printing it or uploading it at the end. So the recommendation is to use 300 if you're using MATLAB. So this will be the code. And PowerPoint, there is a YouTube video that I will share with you also, 5 minutes video, just to show you how to adjust the resolution. Also, don't decrease the text in the figures itself less than 10, because it will not be visible. I don't know if I can share this. So this is my thesis. I tried to use one font in all the figures. There's here the caption, figure 17, and these are the observed coastlines. Most of the people also put a title above here, which is not recommended at all, because you already had the title in your caption. So don't add the title. Make sure that you mention the x-axis and y-axis labels. What are these numbers? People need to know, and the units. Here also a mistake, for example, that I have here maybe a less font than the other, so try to be consistent. Let's skip this. I think that I already mentioned this, to make sure that you have each version of your model saved. Don't delete it, because if you have any figure conducted, you need to have a copy of your model saved beside it. At the end, I have sent my thesis draft to supervisor and mentors, and I got a lot of comments in the figures. And because I had this presentation before my thesis, I made sure that during my work I saved all the versions. So each figure, I had a folder with the thesis for the figures. Each figure with the has its own folder with a copy or a shortcut of the model that I have used to produce it. So it makes it much easier when you have the comments at the end, or you will just return back and maybe adjust a lot of parameters or whatever you were changing, or sensitivity analysis or whatever. You will just waste a lot of time. Also, if you are producing maps, you need to make sure that you have the north direction, scale, legend, and etc. You must check the standard of each, and this may help you, for example, your supervisor and mentor and or online. And we said that already. Yes, important thing. Sorry, any figures. So don't try this or try this. No, just go to right click, size and position, and make sure that the lock aspect ratio is turned on. That's an important thing, and then you can change from here. Yes, this is a mistake that I had in my thesis, and the comments that I had from my mentors, that some of the figures I just put it in the thesis but I didn't refer to. So don't do that. Every figure, make sure that you refer to it and say what is this in a body paragraph. Okay, I don't know if you have any questions, or am I going very slow, very quick? Just any comments?
Can you show a table that in your thesis? How did you put the title and the format of the table?
The table?
Yeah, any table.
Okay. this was one of the formats, but if you see here, I have reference, so I used the same format was used by the reference. Another one was this one. That's the format I did use, but it's up to you. Be consistent. That's my advice. Just be consistent and make sure that you did the caption, because if you want to refer it, you just do what I did now. You will have it in the list of the tables, and just you click go to the table.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Am I going very slow, very quick? Just give me a hint.
It's okay, at least for me.
Okay. Do you want a short break, or shall I continue? Okay.
Maybe how much longer is this presentation going to go, and then that we can decide whether or not to
I
break.
have this is slide 13. I have till 26. Not 26, 23.
Okay, we're almost there then, I think. So I'm fine with that break, personally.
Okay. So for the references, as I told you, the most important thing is to see this video if you didn't attend the webinar, and if you did, I advise you to revisit it. This is important, really will save you a lot of time. We have here just mentioned some tips for the reference. We'll not go deep into the how to do that, because it's already some of you already attended the webinar, so we don't want to waste your time. So if you are citing authors, there are main two things that you will face, or situations. You want to just cite by the end of the sentence or in the body. End of the sentence, and this is the most popular one, is you just write the sentence and have a citation between brackets at the end. But if you are talking about the author, for example, and mention to the author, so you need to make sure that you are using this format. So according to El Gandour, and between brackets would be the year of the reference. And in order to know how to do that using the endnote, which I think you must use in your thesis, because if you didn't, I think at the end, and I know some people have faced this problem, that they went for the library, for example, and they had a problem in the reference format, and they will not help you if you are using other tool. But if you are using endnote, they will be very helpful, and you will have a good advice from them. Also, in the body, you can just start the sentence by saying that Professor Rolving, and then between brackets the year, but here it will be between brackets at the end. So make sure that you stick to that, because also many comments I had in my draft was for these situations. Also, make sure that you know how to add text before citations, because this text is not being done manually. This is also being done by the endnote. So this is mentioned also in the video, and if it's not, feel free to email them. I emailed them several times, and they were very helpful. Some things also to mention here. If you are citing one author, so this is in bracket, this in the body, two authors, in brackets will be with this, and in the body will be with that. So make sure that you know that, and also this is done by the endnote. Make sure that you use the style that the department recommends to use. Water science, I think, is hydrogeological style. and this is also the first thing that you will find in the video. More than 2 authors, you have this ETL, and this will be if it's in the body. So most probably if 3 to 5 authors, it will be like that. 2 or more references, and how they will be arranged by the year of the paper or whatever you're referencing to, or alphabetically. And this is also, as I told you, check the style that the supervisor and mentor advise you to follow, and most probably it's for the department as a whole, so just make sure to stick to that. For me, for example, I just did it that I changed it in the EndNote to be I think alphabetically, and it was not like that. So I had that comment, and you will get such comments. So from the beginning, just make sure that you follow the instructions. Several works by same authors. This the same author had 2 papers in the same year, so it would be referenced as A and B. Make sure that this is like that, because if not, it will be plagiarism and you will face a problem. Several works by same author but different years. Also, there will be according to the style that you use. Make sure that you follow and revise by yourself before sending the final draft. So I just want to refer again for the library video. Make sure to see it. There are some reference resources if you don't know yet. I think I have it here. The library of IHE Delft, most of the papers will be found in, or they will refer you to other websites. ResearchGate, I don't know if you know it or not, but also it's very helpful because sometimes you can reach the authors and ask them questions and they will respond to you. Yes, this is that I wanted to show here. For example, this PDF, you have read the abstract and you found out that it will be useful, and then you want to know how to download the whole PDF. If you are not an IHE student, you can't for most of the websites, but just access through the IHE Delft Institute. Make sure that when you sign up, for example for this Science Direct, you sign up using the IHE email, and then you can download it and have it. Okay. This is a document that I will share with you. I don't have it in that laptop, sorry, but I will share with you how to, because there are some marking guidelines already listed by IHE. If you got the Mark 6, if you want Mark 6 and just pass, what is needed, and if you want more, what is needed in details, so it will be very useful to share with you. Now you have a mentor supervisor to ask. You will have a weekly meeting with them, and make sure that is a weekly meeting. Make sure that you learn from them, because most of the people at IHE have a great experience. And after that, ask me. Some of them will not respond to you, so make sure if you learn from them, because this is a learning process. You are not already a researcher and have this great experience and you will just say I will not ask because they will say I am not independent or whatever. No, it's not like that. Just show them that you are working. This is the most important thing. Don't ask them a thing that you didn't search for, but say I searched and I find out this and this and this and I'm confused, can you help? Also a hint that you most probably are writing now your objectives and problem statement and search questions and these things. At the end you will find out that some of the objectives you didn't, or research question you didn't answer, some objectives you didn't reach. So this is normal, but to a certain limit. So 60 to 70% of your objective is reached. That's good, but not less than 50%. So this is important to complete your thesis. I want to also this is very important to share with you. It helped me a lot. Actually, Ahmed said it in the first lecture last year, of this session last year, but I totally missed it, and I found out, and he reminded me about it just 1 week before the submission, and it's really great. So it has a lot of things that will be very beneficial for you, how to write the proposal, a lot of hints that to make sure you follow, and instructions will just make a lot of things easy to you. I just want to see this 49, for example, the discussion. This one. So for example here, what are the limitations of your data? This is very important thing that I was missing, totally missing in my discussion. The implication, I remember, yes, describing the implication of your work for future research. So the discussion is not just that you discuss by yourself what you have done, but also refer to previous work. So previous work not only mentioned in the literature review, but also in your discussion. You must say that someone did that at year 2012, and someone did that at 2013, and their discussion or the results was like that. However, I find out that they were right or wrong, or I agree with them or I disagree with them. This is the discussion. So most of the things I didn't know and I didn't follow, and this document helped a lot to put me on track. So I will also share it with you. It's very normal that you will have your ups and downs during writing or during your modeling or whatever. Sometimes you will just be stuck in some point and you don't know how to solve it. This is normal, and don't panic, and don't think that you are the only one who is having problems. But make sure that you are working and you ask, and I will tell you also some hints at the end about asking and who to ask. If you are taking the academic part or track, so make sure that you aim for publication. Not only a journal publication, but also you can apply for conferences during your thesis. Prepare an abstract and just apply. This is very helpful. You know people, you get to know more people, you have connections, and this will help you a lot in the future. If you aim for publication, make sure to say that clearly from the beginning to your supervisor and mentor, in order to adjust your objectives and research questions accordingly, and to advise you that they can afford that or not, also if there is funding or not. So be clear with them, and they will for sure be clear with you. Please try to finish your first 3 chapters, or at least first 2 chapters in your proposal, the introduction and literature review, for at least 90%. The third is the methodology. You need to know what you will be doing, but it's very normal that you will change a lot after that. So the most important thing is the first two chapters, and that helped me a lot because I couldn't, if I didn't, I wouldn't have time at the end to just write them or adjust them. I just used the one that I have used in the proposal, and that saved a lot of time for me. Okay, most of the questions that the mentors and supervisors will just ask you during your thesis, or not only questions but suggestions that they will tell you do that, they will ask you most probably at the examination or the discussion, did you do that? And they are noting everything, so it's good that you also note it and make sure to prepare for these questions at the end. Yeah, this is a thing that I had experienced. I was doing a very new thing to me, and also my supervisor and mentors were not experienced in data assimilation. So I had to ask a lot, and I just opened LinkedIn and write data assimilation, and I had a lot of experts accounts. I just emailed them. Some of them answered me, some not. Some of them really helped me a lot to understand a lot of things, and one of them actually is my supervisor now. So it's good to have new connections. Some people will really help, and whoever doesn't reply, it's okay. Just an email sent or a message sent, it will not affect you negatively. Plagiarism, yeah, I will not talk about that. I think the video of the library will just talk much more. Important thing that I have learned also that, and actually I learned such a thing after my thesis, but it would be very helpful to use it during your thesis. So before each meeting with your supervisor and mentor, just prepare an agenda, prepare a presentation. Don't just open the meeting or just meet them without anything and then say, yes, I did that and I did that and I did that, without something to show. If you want to convey a message, they will just get less than 50% of what you are talking about. But if you have already prepared an agenda and presentation before that, it will be much easier for them to understand what you want to convey. And after the meeting, you already got the minutes of meeting or what the conclusion of the meeting. You send them an email. You said, during today's meeting we have reached 1, 2, 3, and this will be just documentation of what you have done for you and them. I know there are a lot of tips, but you will have the slides afterwards and just revisit anytime. Make yourself a daily routine. You don't have a schedule for lectures or just maybe one meeting in the week. So make sure that you get up at 8, 9, and then you know what you are doing in that day. This will help you a lot in your effectiveness of your work. There is a Pomodoro technique, an application in your mobile or even a Chrome extension. I used it a lot. Just make like 45 minutes, for example, of work and 15 minutes of break. And whoever is just using his mobile or her mobile a lot, this will help a lot, because it will just some of them just lock your mobile during this 40 minutes or whatever. Some application and sessions have writing or working groups. For example, the PhD, some of the PhD students made a writing and working group in I think Discord, and that was very helpful for them, especially during the Corona time. So it will be good that you have someone working with you, and then you will focus more. You will not just waste your time doing other things. Also, it's we can, for MSA, make a writing group or working group, and if you are interested, you can join. Before Corona, for me, I was working a lot in the library at IHE, and actually afterwards, if I have exam or any submission, I can continue after that in the TU library. But I'm not sure if TU library is open for IHE students or not. So maybe you can ask. Okay. When I had this session, I forgot a lot of things after that, and I didn't follow. So my suggestion is to revisit the slides after 2 or 3 months, and you will find a lot of things that will make things easy to you. Document every detail for the future, especially for the people who will be working with some models and programming. You will forget most of the things, so it's good